What's up? It's Lip Service. I'm Angela Yee.
I'm Gigi McGuire.
I'm Stephanie Santiago.
I'm Avian.
Jim Jones.
And I'm Jim.
Hey,
Jim.
you finally made it.
Yeah, y'all take it easy on me, please.
No, you know what? Jim Jones did Lip Service when I worked at Sirius so long ago when Leah from Double XL, she was the music editor.
Damn.
Yeah, it was so long. It's the only time you ever did it. And yeah, that's all I had. It was super long ago. But I remember I was excited. I was like, Jim Jones is doing lip service? Because, he don't be trying to give up all the goods like that. So we're going to take it easy on you, though.
Please.
We'll try.
He's already good because we were just talking about the first time we've ever been drunk because he doesn't drink really.
No.
And so I was talking about the first time I was ever drunk. I was in Staten Island and, it was Raekwon's birthday and I had Long Island iced teas. I didn't even know what it was. That's a terrible
Too much liquor.
first thing to be
oh
drinking.
my God.
And I remember I was sitting down and I didn't realize how drunk I was until I tried to stand up.
Mm-hmm.
Oof. And at the time, I was with one of my friends from college, and she was dating Benny Boom. And they had to drive me back to Jersey City, and I was asleep in the back of the car. And then I had to crawl up the stairs, and I slept in the bathroom on the floor next to the
That's
toilet.
crazy.
Wow.
She was gonna throw up.
Long Island iced tea was like the first liquor that we used to experiment. It was like Mad Dog 2020,
cool. That was
Long
the
Island
drink.
iced tea and Cisco because they were so cheap at the time.
Oh my God, Cisco they used to say that was liquid crack. Remember that?
Nah, listen, I seen people lose their religion on Cisco. That shit is crazy.
Remember, Yo-Yo said it in the song, we had dinner, now we drinking Cisco. We hit the slow
Boy,
jams.
that shit is not the shit to drink. One little bottle of Cisco used to have niggas going like really acting retarded. Like that shit is like Four Loko. How the niggas be going
Remember
crazy.
Four
I was
Loko?
gonna say
That's all
the
Cisco
Four
was.
Loko- The Four Loko was bad.
Remember the Cisco bottle was like this big. I remember.
It
It was
Small,
two sizes.
yeah.
It was this one and then it had the
And then
tall one.
the tall
Clear
one.
with the simple Cisco.
And I tasted it when I was young. I probably shouldn't have been, but it was syrupy.
Yeah. Remember
Like, it was
Hypnotic
like
was a thing
syrup.
too. Remember
Yeah.
Hypnotic
like,
was
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Alizé,
Oh my God.
Hypnotic.
Incredible.
It was Alizé before Hypnotic.
But the Four Locos were dangerous. I know a couple people who ended up in the hospital after 2 or 3 of
Yeah,
them.
that was like the Cisco. I knew a few
Yeah.
people that ended up in the hospital for drinking a bottle of Cisco. That shit.
And honestly, Four Locos sound dangerous. It's Four
really do.
Locos. It's like 4 times crazy.
And then if you drink it with something else, like if you had a Four Loko or 2 Four Locos and some Henny or something, forget about it.
It's a suicide mission.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, Jim, let's talk about why you're here. You've been putting out music like nonstop,
Yes.
and always working. And it still be quality because it's hard for people to put out that much content and for it to be quality.
People don't live a life like I do. I'm not to say it like that, but music revolves around life for a lot of artists, and I got to live a lot of it, so I got to talk about a lot of different things. That's what keeps me motivated, keeps me going. It's life.
And entrepreneurship. Because I think that helps too because you have so many other things going on.
That's the hustle. The hustle can never stop no matter what. The music goes up and down, but the hustle can never stop.
For example, what are you smoking right now?
Saucy.
Exactly.
Of course.
Yeah, it's been good. I mean, you got to keep it moving. This game is about money, so I hope everybody on top of their business. That's what the most important thing is, to be on top of your business.
And everybody's trying to find out about crypto and NFTs, and you was on that early.
Yes, I was blessed to be able to get in touch with that early about some change. Right in the beginning of the pandemic, or right before the pandemic, I started to get into it, and I ended up selling like a picture of my chain of an NFT. And now looking back to where it started to where it is now is absolutely retarded. So I urge everybody who's trying to make a couple dollars to get into the cryptocurrency space and get into the NFT space. Cryptocurrency, because money as we know it is going to be no more in the years to come, and everything will be digital and everything will be crypto. So, I want people to be smart about the decisions they make when it comes to money and financial literacy, and you need to learn a little bit about that. Don't get caught slipping.
What about all the money under our mattresses and stuff?
Well, so this is where crypto This is how cryptocurrency works and how it's so important. This is why they say it's bank the unbanked. So for average person that got $10,000, $20,000 in their house and stuffed up somewhere, it's not accumulating no interest. It's just sitting there getting old and rotten. Now you could take that same $10,000, $20,000 and put it into cryptocurrency, something like Bitcoin or Ethereum, and that money alone, without you even touching to do anything, will increase by 7% every year just by sitting in there. Now, if you put your money in the bank, if you put $10,000 in the bank, you probably make $10 on that $10,000 in a year. So now, with just making 7% on your $10,000, you made a couple dollars on that. But the trick is now to learn how to diversify and get into the actual space where you can start to buy different cryptos, buy different NFTs to diversify your portfolio in order to enhance your chances at generational wealth or just get into a bag.
Any coin you recommend in investing in?
Listen, I'm not no financial
Don't do
advisor. You heard? You won't hear me say it. I can't tell you I got a Capo coin. I have my own coin. It has a few utilities. It's a dope coin. I'm trying to.
Capo.
Cool.
Akon has a coin too. He has the A coin.
Cool.
As well. But you know what I like about that? And one thing I will say that I know for sure when it comes to stocks and crypto is buy when it's on the dip. You know what I'm saying? And if you started something financial, you could call it dipset and help people buy.
Or buy. Yeah, I mean, you buy it, but if it dips, buy more.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't get scared of the dip because that's just life. Life has its ups and downs, and the dip always comes back stronger. So everybody watch Bitcoin go from like what was 50 down to like 30. Now it's like back up to 50. It's supposed to be like 100,000 by the summertime, and then like 1 million by next year. So that's gonna keep going up and down and fluctuating. So like you said, if you could get it on the dip, you get more for your dollar because when it goes up, you're gonna make more for your dollar. So
now with the NFT that you sold, so every time somebody sells it, you get a percentage
100%.
still. So let's talk about that so people understand how NFTs work.
NFT is a non-fungible token, which actually really means nothing. It was just a funky word that the nerds had made. It actually was put in the dictionary a couple months ago, so it really didn't mean shit. They just put their own little dig. So, but for me, I was calling it digital memorabilia. I took a picture of my chain. I sold it for 2 ETH at the time. That shit was like $400, like $800 I sold it for. And now every time the owner of that NFT sells it to the next person, I get a percentage, like 20% every time that shit is sold for whatever price they decide to sell it.
And so it's like digital art. So what's great about that is, you know how sometimes an artist will, their work is not worth anything, and then all of a sudden it shoots up, but they get nothing from it. So with this, every time somebody sells it, the original owner and whoever sells it, you guys get a percentage. So you continue to make money off of something. So if it ends up being worth a whole lot of money, you still get paid.
It's done off a smart contract. A smart contract is a digital contract that goes on for the duration of eternity. So whatever you have in that smart contract for your NFT, which sets up the rules and shit like that, that's how it's going to go. You ain't even got to worry about it. It's going to come back to you in that fashion every time.
And you could essentially like set up anything really as an NFT.
100 million.
Oh, you did an NFT, right?
100 million%. Y'all can set up an NFT for a person to be an actual guest here and things like that one day, or to be a person watching your shows. You can do anything.
I've seen a girl sell her music video as an NFT on a platform and like a clip of it, and it's sold for like $20,000, $30,000, $40,000.
Didn't Tory Lanez sell? What did he sell? He sold
a shitload of NFTs. The person who really, really, really killed this game lately is Takeoff. He just dropped an NFT called like Space Apes. I don't know how many M's he got, but he got some M&Ms, and I ain't talking about the candy. He really came in, and Snoop Dogg is very big in the space as far as
the metaverse.
As far as an influencer and shit like that. So if you get with what Snoop is doing 9 times out of 10, you could probably make some money because he's really out there like that.
All right, so now let's get back to lip service.
That was an interesting conversation, right?
Now we want to do some Capo rules with you. You know, you got the Capo coin, but let's do some rules. So you being the Capo that you are, we want to talk about some things happening in the world, and we want to know how you would handle that situation, or what would you advise, okay?
Okay.
All right, so now let's just say you come too quick during sex. A guy comes too quickly during sex. Now what happens after that? Is he supposed to take care of her and make sure she's good? Or is that just is what it is?
At this point, if a guy can't figure out how to prolong him coming too fast, I don't think you're really gonna get too much out of the rest of that. I don't, dig. I mean,
Shit happens though. I'm sure you slipped up a couple of times and been like, fuck.
I mean, I'm gonna say it again. If a guy can figure out how to prolong that nut, even when he feels like there's so many things you could do to.
Like what? How can you prolong?
All right, now see, this is.
need some tips.
Come
Different
on
thoughts,
now,
maybe.
huh?
Different thoughts, like start thinking of different things.
Nah, I mean, shit. Pull out, do something different. Get back into your zones.
position.
Change position. You gotta, you dig? Like act like you change the position. Like you might need 10 seconds. Like I gotta
just
pull
to
out. I
get
gotta
out
get
the
out.
pussy for
I gotta
a
get out of that
second.
thing for 10 seconds. Oh, boy, you dig? Might bring you back up a little bit. You dig?
Switch it up.
You keep
Like, where's
switching.
my saucy? I just need to take a puff.
Shit like that. You gotta kind of, you dig? Or you be looking like a poo putt. You dig?
Do you ever think about something else? Because I know they always say, like, think about baseball, or I think about.
Why would I be in the midst of making love and be trying to think about baseball?
Because you don't want to come.
Nah, I'm gonna think about what I got in front of me. Baseball ain't like.
I've definitely heard that though from men. They say that sometimes they have to kind of like think of something else so that way they won't come fast. Because if they obviously still looking at the pussy, it's gonna make them come. But I guess that's not everybody.
He looks uncomfortable.
Baseball specific.
I've never seen
but
Jimmy uncomfortable.
Anxiety.
We're just asking you for tips to give other people. There's a lot of youngins in the game, and they might be talking in the studio, and they like, yo, I had a terrible situation.
How
He
am
gave
I
us an
supposed to?
answer though. Yeah.
All right, Capo rules. Now let's talk about gift giving because the holidays just passed.
Right.
So now let's say a guy gets his woman a Birkin, gets her a bunch of gifts, a car,
Car?
and she gets him a sweater from Zara on sale.
Oh,
sale.
It's a medium and he's a large.
And she bought an extra medium. She bought an extra medium.
That's very thoughtless. She wasn't thinking about him at all.
She don't know her man.
The mall was about to close and she just grabbed
And
something
she
to have
and
something.
she left the tag on it with the sale
with the
ticket.
clearance, right.
yeah, you
Sticker.
definitely. If you definitely, she gave you a gift with no thought. That's kind of hard to swallow, especially if you spend some real money on it. But like I was saying before, when I give a gift, I give it with just. Well, I give it from that's what I want to do. It's not like I'm expecting anything in return. Although that's proper on certain days and things like that. But for the most part, I think that guys go into situations knowing that 9 times out of 10 we don't get the best gifts anyway.
That's terrible.
Why is that, though?
I've been a father. Father's Day don't mean shit. You don't get shit. And I'm a real father, like a daddy. Like I really take care of my kid. You did, but it's just to show what men don't really get.
Well, my guy could always expect a good gift for Father's Day, Valentine's Day, and Christmas.
Oh,
birthday.
that's nice.
No, yeah, I'm not saying I don't get
Yeah.
good gifts. I'm just saying you asked the question.
Yeah,
I'm
a
answering.
general question.
I give gifts because I want to give gifts,
Right.
and you dig. That's how it's really supposed to be and shit like that.
But and a lot of guys like you know, guys who are used to being the giver, you give them gifts and they're like, oh, you ain't really have to do that. You know, so it makes you feel like they're not as grateful because they just don't need it.
Nah, people are grateful for the gifts that I give.
No, I mean when you give a guy, a man,
Like you.
Oh,
A gift.
Yeah.
like
all
me?
right.
Yes.
If you give me some shit I wanted, I'm gonna be stupid hype.
Do you wear pajamas?
That's nice.
I haven't worn pajamas in a long time, but the other night for New Year, I decided to stay home for the whole weekend on New Year's. I was just tired of partying. Like I don't want to no bookings or nothing, so I stayed home. And my mom's and them brought me some pajamas for Christmas.
So like y'all did the family
And I had
matching.
on-
Cute.
That's dope.
Yeah,
that's
went to my
cute.
mom's house, chilled out. Just stayed in the crib and just chilled out.
Okay.
I party all the time. It was a good change of pace.
That's dope.
All right. Now let me ask you this: when you break up with somebody, do they get to leave with everything that you gave them? So we've seen certain situations where there's a breakup. The woman leaves and she got to leave all the shoes, the
And the
bags,
man turned into the repo man.
furs.
He taking
That's
everything
weak.
back.
Well, I don't know what the situation calls for. Sometimes the situation might be, I don't know how to put it, but for me, if I gave you something during our relationship, that is yours. I don't expect it back in return when I leave or you leave or when we break up, that's yours. That's wholeheartedly yours. And the type of person I am, if we did break up, I'm still going to make sure you're good while you're on your own until you be able to handle whatever it is you have to handle. But that's just me and shit like that. Like I'm not caught up into certain things. Like certain guys are spiteful and they use that as something for them to like. I think that's a weak trait of a man in the midst of whatever they're going through with a woman to ask back for any of the belongings that you gave them. And now what? You gonna wear that shit?
You're gonna give it to the next bitch.
You're gonna give it to the next bitch, and that next bitch is gonna take some secondhand shit from your old bitch.
Yeah, these
That
girls be
happens.
bummed.
They do that all the time.
That's a weak bitch.
We've
then.
seen it.
Weak ass
That's
I know
a-
guys who have given
that's-
girls watches.
That's a weak bitch. That means you got a man with weak traits dealing with a weak bitch now.
Who takes
You heard?
anything.
That-
That's
you
disgusting.
dig? So
Okay, what about a ring?
None of it is right.
Like, let's say a guy proposes, he gives her a ring, and then they don't end up getting married. Should she give the ring back?
In some states, it's a law that she has to.
It depends on when she got the ring. If it was Christmas, Valentine's Day, or her
I
birthday,
don't
or
give a
holiday.
if whatever it is cool. Keep it. Pawn that shit. Get you some money, and we even, right? Like
to
now
go
we
back.
See,
even.
the
Like,
problem here is that you have money, and like if you think about a guy who might have just
it
spent
ain't about
4
money.
months
It's about
of his-
it ain't about money. It's about the frame of mind. You heard? That's how I think. That's just who I am. It's nothing that I give to a
What if
lady
she
that I want
cheated
back.
on him, and then
There's
she still
nothing
gets
that
to keep the ring?
There's nothing that I give to a lady that I want back. It's yours. You heard? Like, what am I taking that back for?
You'd
That's
be
just who I
surprised
am.
how many men
For sure.
pay snatchies when the
They
relationship
also
is over.
sometimes use that as a way to keep in contact with you if you break up. Because I definitely had a guy ask for like the jewelry he gave me back when we broke up, but it was his way of like harassing me. And
To
so
still be in
I threw all
contact.
that shit out the window. I was like, come get it. And then when he came, I threw everything out the window. And that was it. I was like, now you don't have no reason to hit me no more. Like,
Yeah.
don't call me no more. Just go.
Some niggas is weird, man.
That's weird shit.
It is.
A lot
And
of
the jewelry
niggas is
wasn't even
weird.
that
A lot of
nice.
niggas got a fucked up way of thinking when it comes to women. They wasn't raised in the household where they seen a man take care of their mother. A lot of these situations stem from that and shit like that. You know, we come up in a wicked era and shit like that. But some of us were taught certain things. Like, you dig? I was taught certain morals and shit like that coming up, even though I came up in a wicked household. I had to go to church. I had to do these. So these certain things and respect that we have for women in my household is different from a lot of other households.
Also, going back to what you said before, it's the mindset of the person.
Right.
For sure.
Yeah, because a lot of people would do it just to hurt you. Right, to kind of
Yeah,
like
it's a way of trying to hurt
it's
you.
like a power move and to like hurt
for
you.
all men, I don't think you should leave her with that shit. You heard?
Yeah.
Leave her
Capo
with that
rules.
shit.
Leave her with it.
That's some
What
weak
were you
ass
like
shit.
in church?
I was bad.
Like Sunday school and everything?
I was
You did-
bad. I was always a little mischievous, man. I was stealing from the Sunday school store.
No.
We would cut church and go
Still in that
to
church.
steal everything out the fucking grocery store. Me and Zeke I would steal all the candy, then we would sell the candy in school and shit like that. We would cut Sunday school, go down to 42nd
So the hustle was in you at a young age.
We be throwing
Entrepreneur.
we was
Entrepreneur.
bad. I was raised very early, so I was on the train since like the age of 9 and 10. Like that's traveling from the Bronx to Harlem to go to school. So I just I had a very free childhood, even though I had a lot of authority around me to just.
You still was
You
doing
had a
what
lot
you
of
want.
freedom.
Yes.
I had a lot of freedom as
I
a
did
kid.
too.
I took the train. I actually was in a program on the Upper West Side, and I lived in Brooklyn, so I used to have to take the train there in 6th grade.
Yeah, I too.
But,
When
yeah.
by the time I was 11 years old, I was taking the train by myself. And I have a 15-year-old son, and I still won't let him go on the train by himself.
Isn't that crazy?
My son ain't. I don't even
It's
think
just
my son even
different.
took
Know what
the
the
train.
train
Never
is.
been on the train.
My son don't like
Mother,
the
this is
train. He
crazy.
don't like it.
You should make him take the train
I
one day.
don't know. It's not.
He needs to know how to do that. You know why? Because one day he might have to take the train to get somewhere on time. Traffic be so crazy.
Yeah.
We taking my son
That
on the
nigga
train.
don't
and
even
he's
know
like,
that he
"Where's
could
the
cut
car?"
time in traffic to go to take a train.
You got to put him on the train.
I'm not.
I be putting Envy on the train because he don't know how to take the train either. And I be
That's
having
crazy.
to
You
walk
putting
him
a
down.
grown man on the
Grown-ass
train.
man.
That's more like an experience. It's not a necessity.
Right.
No, it is.
But in New York, it's a
It's not.
necessity.
If you had to be in a meeting and it was super important, right? And traffic was gridlock, the president's in town, you can't get there, the only way you're gonna make
Right.
it. Because sometimes it'd be 10 minutes on the train and an
And
hour
2
and a half
hours in the
traffic.
car. Right.
Listen.
So you gonna jump on the train for 10 minutes or no? Or you pushing that meeting back?
Oh, no, I think I'm going to sit in the
How
traffic.
the fuck am I gonna get on a train? Man, how's that gonna work? When I get out there and try to get on a train, I'm still not gonna get there. It's gonna be too crazy when I get on a train. Like I'm going to get there.
Oh, that's true. Everybody's
Yeah,
going to know
big
you.
lie.
It's
But look, you
over.
put your mask
It's
on.
over.
The hood.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because the mask
Listen,
allows
listen,
you to
listen,
do a
listen.
lot.
I might miss that meeting.
But at this point,
Yeah.
you're not even going to know
Jimmy's
how to
missing
take
the
the
meeting.
train. You're not going to know where to go. You're going to be
Yeah.
like, what?
I might miss that meeting.
Yeah.
I might miss that meeting.
What if the meeting is with Elon Musk and it's $1 billion deal?
Shit happens. I might miss that
You
meeting.
gotta push it
Okay,
back.
in an hour and a half,
I'm on
and
the
this
train.
gridlock goes down.
I'm in traffic.
I seen a tweet like
Go ahead,
that.
start without me.
I seen a tweet like that literally a couple of days ago where it said New York is the only city where it doesn't matter how much money you have
Yeah, I
or
saw that
like
too.
how fly you are.
Yeah,
You could get on
Bloomberg
the
told
train.
On the train.
Bro, if I call you and be like, bro, this is traffic is retarded, and you can't have the courteous to wait for me, then it's not meant to be.
I mean, what if he had a flight? Listen,
What was
If
the
he had a
last time
flight,
you
then
were
we
on the
gotta
train?
reschedule.
let's get Jimmy on the
Like,
train.
we
When was the
gotta
last time you were on
reschedule.
the
Like,
train,
nah, I'm not
Jim?
doing that,
When
bro.
was the last
When he
time
was
That'd be a
going
good
back and forth
skit.
from Harlem to the Bronx when he was a little
Not
kid.
when you were in school. When was the last time you were on the train? Literally.
This is an NFT right here.
That would be a good skit.
Jim on the
Jimmy on the
That's
train.
how
train.
you're gonna be like, I have, bro.
I believe you. I think a long time ago. I think before
I've
the
been
90s.
driving since I was like 18, 17. Like I haven't been on a train since like high school.
So the 90s?
Yeah, I graduated in 94. I probably ain't been
Yep,
on a
the
train since
90s.
95, 96.
Y'all know-
I would say, matter of fact,
That's
last time
25
I've been on the
years.
train, all right, 95, graduated 94. I did the little job shit I had in
So
the
you
law
gotta
firm
go
and
back
shit
and
like that.
forth.
Wait,
I was-
back up. The
You worked
job in
at
the
a
law firm.
Yeah, so in high school, I graduated 6 months early because I went to Catholic school. Me and Zeke got kicked out the same day out of Catholic school. Fucking Zeke.
Surprise. Kicked out for what?
But the
All of
curriculum,
the stories start with me
the
and Zeke.
Catholic school
Kicked out for
curriculum
what?
is harder.
But me and Zeke got kicked out.
Yeah.
We was
So you go to public
terrible.
school after
we
Catholic
was
school and you be
fucking
mad
tyrants in
smart.
school.
I would just
in
never
Catholic
forget
school,
Zeke fucking a girl's underarm. But go ahead.
Oh, wow.
kicked out of school, went to Julia Richmond. I already had all my credits because of Catholic school, but I had to
Yeah,
take
because
some
what I was saying is the
tests.
curriculum in Catholic school is harder.
They
So
like- they-
you kill
I
public
graduated
school.
when I came pretty much.
Yeah.
They said you got to take a state exam. And if you fail that, you still graduate. So they was like, I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna go to school. I went to, because I never been to public school in my life. And Richmond, all my friends was there. Went crazy in school. Graduated 6 months early. Grandma was like, you
You was probably mad
you know
smart
you
for
gotta
public
figure,
school,
you know you
right?
gotta figure something out. So I enrolled in this program called Vehicles, Career and Training and Organization Skills, and they ended up getting me a job in the law firm. So I was hustling and going to the law firm so my grandmother wouldn't be upset with me.
You were kind of a good kid in some ways.
I was a very dope
Yeah,
kid.
you're respectful
He was intelligent.
to your family.
Yeah, from my
But you
family, I
was
got the
in-
Still
utmost
behind
respect.
the scenes.
Yes.
But when I got outside, I was a tyrant.
Okay.
I did that job 6 months.
Did you like it?
It was cool. I'm gonna tell you the story about that. I did that job for 6 months. I came in work one day. Biggie Smalls was on the radio, Hot 97, Rings and Watch filled with rocks, and your jam knocks and your Mitsubishi
Hey,
girls pee when they see me.
Navajo
I slammed the table.
TV.
I slammed the table, tell the manager, Les at the time, yo, I'm out, bro. I can't do this no more. I got something else to do. Not gonna be in here working with you. You bugging out.
doing
Gave him a
business.
5. He said, get it. And that was the last time I went home. The motherfucking after
So
that,
after that, no train.
after that, no, one more time a train, because after
Okay.
that, Cam started rapping, made a promise to my grandmother I was gonna go to college, enrolled to BMCC.
Okay.
Cam said I was retarded for that.
You was.
Start going to BMCC.
Shout out to BMCC.
You
A lot
heard?
of people
Right.
that
I'm
are
going to
amazing with
BMCC
But
in
he
the
ain't
daytime.
need it.
Cam is rapping. I'm in BMCC one day, like on Saturday. My cell phone rings. The whole class look at me because cell phones wasn't big at that time. This is when it was the Motorola
And
flip
it was
phone.
probably, oh,
This
with
like
the big back.
96.
Okay.
Niggas
And
ain't
it
have,
made a
Battery
sound
with a
like
big back
yeah,
battery.
niggas ain't have
Old school.
niggas, this was a get money thing. The whole class look at me. I'm like,
it's a brick.
what's up? He like, why the fuck are you really in school? Get the fuck out of there, bro. Get out of there right now, bro. We got shit. You bugging the fuck out.
Hilarious.
I said, damn. I hung up the phone. I said, yo, Priest, it's been real. I tried. I just looked at the sky, looked at my girl. I said, I tried. I did. I went, though.
See, I went, Grandma.
I made an effort.
And that was the last time that I've been on a train. So that was like 96.
25 years.
95, 96.
What did your grandmother want you to go to school for? Like, what did she want you to be?
She just wanted him to go to school.
She just knew I was real smart. My moms knew I was real smart too. So they was like, whatever you're gonna be, we know you're gonna be excel at it. My mom's always told me that shit. Like, you got the eye of the tiger, boy. You going up. Like, whatever you do in life, you're gonna be very big at it.
And you did.
At least you tried, right? You enrolled.
You made it.
Went in the
and
class.
you probably
made the
did learn some
effort.
things, even working at the law firm and doing that.
Nah,
that helped you in
I've
business.
learned something from every walk of life that I partake in, but that I had been in. Like the law
you
firm was
should.
great. I got to deal with a lot of business people and lawyers and shit like that. I understood how that, like, it's just a lot. I picked up a lot of things fast. Like I say, I'm a jack of all trade, meaning I'm a master of none, but I'm usually better than the master of one. So that's how that goes. And that's how I've been for the most of my life.
All right. I'm not mad at that. I didn't know about this law firm stuff. So, all right. Now, another thing we want to ask you for your rules. Let's talk about this for a second. Let's just say you're Tristan Thompson right now.
Oh, shit.
Make it make sense.
Wow. Make it make sense.
He's ill.
Make it make sense.
I like Tristan's attitude.
Why?
He's wild.
So anyway, okay, let's just say you're him right now and you are trying to get Chloe back. What advice would you give him?
How? Didn't he just have another baby?
That's the point. That's what we're talking about.
He just had another.
You think
She
it's
love
over?
it though. She love it. She gonna take him back in the flash. Ooh, she love it.
You think
She's
so?
a glutton for it. She loves it. She loves it. She loves black men. She loves everything black men do. She loves it. She wants to be around it. I mean, that's just my opinion.
So you think she would take, okay, but all right, you're giving Tristan advice. Tristan's like, man, I really fucked up this time. Jimmy, you know, as a capo, I need to know, how can I get my woman back? What are some steps that you would tell somebody who really fucked up, had a baby by somebody else?
How many times he got it back already?
No, this
Twice,
time she's acting like she's not going back.
No, she said,
Every time she was acting like she was not going
But
back,
I
right?
think he cheated before, but this is the first time he actually had a baby on her. That's
baby
kind of
though.
different. That's a baby.
Listen,
person.
I don't know.
I think it's a person.
They whole
you
shit
made
is
your
like
own
a
people?
big soap opera to me. That's just like all make believe damn near to me. Like it's like,
For
I'm
ratings.
not judging her.
who cares
I
at
mean,
the end of the day? Really, y'all paid. Tristan paid. Your NBA player. Y'all got billions off of TV. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit.
you got to think too, one day that kid is going to grow up and realize how they came into the world.
All these kids, and it's gonna be right there on camera for them.
How many times must we talk about how I'm a side baby? Jesus.
Oh, Gigi, she's a side baby.
I'm a side baby.
Yeah.
That's how it's called.
My mother was not married to my father. He had a whole different wife. And I mean, you know, he had a wife. And then 16 days after I was born, my sister was born. So she
Sada
was
baby.
from side baby number 2.
Sada baby.
Sada baby.
Sada baby.
Sada baby.
Sada baby.
So
Sada
yeah,
baby.
I mean, eventually, my mother and his wife, you know, had a kumbaya moment, and I was raised, you know, with my siblings, and I have a childhood with my siblings from his wife. But I did not have a childhood with my siblings from second baby mama because she wasn't with the shits. So she
side
argued
baby is
against.
crazy. Yo, that's
she
what
argued
you
against-
call it.
I mean, it's
what it
reality.
is.
Truth.
Right.
I was born out of, you know, a side relationship. I'm a side baby. I have no, you know, I'm 42 years old. I've come to the realization that, you know,
You're a
I was
side
born a
baby.
side baby. And I have a very healthy and positive relationship with all of my siblings and with my father and his wife. Like that's, you know,
That's
she's
good,
the
though.
mom the only mom I have now.
But does it affect how you feel about men?
It did. Yeah. For sure. And not in a negative way. I just have a better understanding of how men work and more like their thought process when it comes to monogamy and relationships.
Okay. Well, at least you didn't get swallowed.
I mean, what? I mean,
At least you here with us, G.
oh my God. I made it. Mama, I made it. Thanks for not swallowing.
Oh my God.
At least you here with us.
It always comes out with something, man. Oh my God.
Hey,
But yeah, speaking
should've got
of that
swallowed.
baby growing up and realizing the world that he was born into, at this point, it depends on what the parents do from here on out.
Right.
Right? Because my...
Parents is filthy motherfucking
But we
rich.
but
That
we not
kid
talking
ain't gonna
about
feel the
rich,
same
not
thing
money, just like-
Yeah,
No,
connection.
you know what?
The
We
love
take
and the
for
connection.
granted that people who are rich and have money don't go through all kinds of
They
strugg-
do.
Yeah.
And you're gonna go through the same shit any other kid go through.
But people don't be having sympathy.
Was your life that different?
But people don't be
No,
having
but
sympathy.
the point that I was
when
trying to
you have
make is
money.
that the other set of siblings, because after my sister, there's 2 more siblings from baby mama number 2, and they did not grow up with the connection with me and my other siblings and that side of the family. They felt disconnected. It wasn't until that we were adults that we created our own relationships. So they don't have childhood memories with the whole family on Christmas, my grandmother's birthday, all of these wonderful things that I have. And you know, not that I feel bad because it wasn't my fault, but it's like, damn, I could have been them.
Right.
You know, my mom could have been the outcast, and I wouldn't have all these memories and all of this great childhood that I had growing up.
Bro, I haven't spent one Christmas time with my father's side of the nothing.
Wow.
You dig? I got a whole Spanish family, and last time I see my pops was when I was younger, was like 13, and then when I seen him again, he was like 26, and that was the same year that he passed away, and we was starting to do music. And that was the year I got to connect back with my grandma, who's still alive right now, like 94. But even now, we don't have, I love her to death, but we don't have the biggest relationship like I had with my grandmother.
So you're mixed with Latino? You're Puerto Rican, Dominican?
Puerto Rican.
Oh, you're Puerto Rican.
But so how do you think that affected you? Like as a man, not having your, not really having your dad and his side of the family.
I don't know. I just was a different kid. Every day that I didn't see my dad, I just loved him more. I wasn't like these other kids, like, fuck my dad. My dad wasn't around.
Same. My father had 9
Nah,
kids, it didn't make me love him any less, that he was dropping babies off with all his wives.
I just didn't get to see him. But the few times that I did get to see him, he was like the flyest dude in the whole world of me. Like, it was like, you dig? Like, it was like me being in heaven every time I got to be with him. And that memory stuck with me for dear life, but that didn't.
What did your mom used to say to you about him, though? Because I think that matters too. For moms out there,
my mom's always picked him up. She used to tell me all about the crazy stories.
That's probably what helped, though.
Tell me about how he was always fly, all that type of shit. It was like she never shunned him away. She never told him he couldn't come see me. He knew all my family houses with everybody. He knew my whole, like, it wasn't like that. Just that my dad had a real addiction. His demons were haunting him that bad from a young age. When you have a heroin addiction, and he had 3 brothers, they all died of the same thing due to the heroin addiction and shit like that. So these are the things that a lot of kids' parents were coming up in the 80s. You dig? Like the 80s was wicked.
But that's a strong woman for your mom to not ever downplay your dad.
Because my mom and my dad were like Bonnie and Clyde. Remember, my mom had me when she was 16. I was 17. She was still in high school. And they would...
By the way, we are going to have your mom on lip service. I hope you're okay with that.
That's cool. She's going to go crazy.
I love your mom.
I'm just letting you know in advance.
I hope you're ready for it. Like,
that is happening.
That is a wild woman.
Everybody loves your mom.
I learned my sex education.
We follow each other on Instagram.
From my mother.
I love her so
Wait, what did your mom tell you about sex when you were young?
She told me everything about sex.
Like what?
My first condoms, shit like that. My mom taught me how to kiss when I was younger.
What did she tell you to do?
She told me how to tongue kiss when I was younger.
Like what's the instructions?
It wasn't no instructions. She showed me with her mouth. Like she
kissed you?
It's my mother.
No, I'm just
I love
my parents barely kissed me on the cheek.
No,
so
my mom
just stopped kissing my son on the mouth.
She showed me how to tongue kiss when I was younger. Remember, my mom was 17. She's a baby. Look at all the babies that's having babies now. And look how they act with their babies. It's like they have a little sister or a little brother more than they had.
Did you think tongue kissing was nasty at first? Because the first time somebody tried to tongue kiss me, I thought it was so disgusting.
The first time I tongue kissed a girl, I
was like, oh, you
my mom's, it didn't faze me. The first time I tongue kissed a girl, I was blown. I was so pissed off. I didn't know what the fuck was going on.
But it also depends how sloppy somebody kisses you too, right? Because that could be a turn off.
I think that's what it was.
If they bad at kissing.
12,
that's interesting because nobody taught me anything about it and I didn't know what it was. And this guy, like, he was my little boyfriend and we used to just kiss on the cheek. And then one day he just stuck his tongue in my mouth and I didn't know what it was or what was happening. And I was like, oh my God, like, what is he fucking doing?
It's crazy.
I needed a little heads up.
Yeah, sex that young and shit like that.
So wait, what about the first time you ever had sex?
Her name was Bebe.
Baby.
I never forget.
Was that her real name or like
that was what they called her. She was from Wagner Projects.
Oh shit. Baby from Wagner.
This is like
where is Baby now?
88.
Right. Was she older than you?
87. I think probably about the same age. She like 13, 14.
Was she a virgin as well or she was a little experienced?
Baby was with it.
Moving around.
She knew what was going on. I won't say she was with it, but she knew what was going on.
She was hip.
Way more than I was. I was the one that was shaky and had to kind of fake
so
it
she
till
had
I
to
actually figured it out. Yeah.
Where was it?
My man Cisco, he was a little older than us. He lived in Wilson Projects. Cisco used to get money. My man, he was like, yo, you bring it to my crib, you could use my room. My mom don't be tripping. Like, we younger, we 13, like this. Like, what? Like, yeah, I bet. I go to Cisco house. He say, mommy, he's Spanish, Puerto Rican. They bunch of Just go in the room, you good. And that was just that. I used Cisco crib for it.
But
And
that's crazy.
That's where I
How long did you
bust
last?
Baby down at Cisco crib.
Huh?
How
You
long?
bust baby down at Cisco crib.
I bust baby down at Cisco crib.
Was his mom there though?
His mom was there.
His Puerto Rican mother. You heard.
Spanish,
How long
Spanish,
did his
mom-
they don't
they don't
care
care?
about nothing Spanish
but
mom.
It's like, I know, papi. I'd rather you do it in the house than
Exactly.
do it outside.
Exactly.
Exactly. I was gonna say
It's okay,
that.
papi. He could go to the room.
No,
papi.
I was gonna say that. I'm sure they probably felt that way. Like, you know what? I'd rather you do it here. You
Right,
safe.
that's how my
Right.
mom was.
How long did it last?
I don't think I lasted that long. I don't even know if I came the first time. I don't think
Oh, that sucks.
You even understood.
So
Yeah.
much
Did you think it was good, or were you like, this is overrated?
I just think that I was more hype about the fact that I actually could go downstairs and say,
Right.
nigga, I got some ass.
Right.
I did it.
It was the bragging rights more than
Yeah,
anything else.
it was the motion.
I'm
it
not
was
a
the-
virgin.
Exactly.
Niggas don't get no pussy.
You
That's what
graduated
it
at
was.
Cisco's
Yes.
house. I'm getting
And
pussy now.
I'm getting pussy. Y'all don't get no pussy.
Word. Exactly. That was a conversation. You niggas ain't getting no pussy.
Baby came down the block like,
So
what's up, girl?
was it baby a one and done, or did you like continue and
Nah, I never seen Baby again after that. That's crazy.
Oh, damn, baby.
That's crazy.
that kind of hurts your
That
feelings?
was I mean,
Like,
that
damn,
was
you wanna
just,
come back?
just young and moving. That was like the summer, I believe, where everything turned for me. I started to learn how to hustle, started navigating to the west side. That's when me and Cam started our relationship. You know, he moved over to the east side. It's all like the 13 era and shit like that. And just started figuring out Harlem. Had to get new sneakers. It was only one way to get that. And after that, it was just ball game. It was the streets. I learned about pussy fast, and I loved. I was a lover of the girls when I was young.
So basically, after Baby, everything went up.
Everything went up. I had curly
had
hair.
Right. Girl, get back
They
in
put you on.
Word up. It was just, I
Baby,
had all the,
right.
I had all the
waves in his
things.
head now.
She did that.
I had a little bit of what they was looking for back then.
Damn.
Light skin, had a little bow legs. I was in.
Oh man, you know a guy
Right.
with
Them
bow legs.
bow-legged niggas. Woo.
I
Go
was in.
bow-legged Jim.
Yeah, I
It's
got-
funny you say you realize you needed new sneakers. When I was growing up, like, you know, there's different groups of guys. There's the guys from Uptown, there's the guys from Dykeman, the guys from Harlem, the guys from the Bronx. The guys from Harlem, they was always the freshest, you know, always had the fresh clothes. You knew a guy was from Harlem because he was clean. He had some clean sneakers on all the time. He didn't have no
But
money.
the funny thing
but
about that, he
was
didn't
dressed.
have no money in
didn't have
his
no money, but he
pocket.
was dressed.
Boy, it was
He had
a
that shit on.
And he
bunch
always
of
knew
niggas
where
in
to go
Harlem
to
had
eat.
that shit
He
on.
always knew where to go to eat too.
Now that you say that, my second boyfriend ever was from Harlem. He was from the Esplanade Gardens. And I remember, because I'm from Brooklyn, so I took the train. I would take the train to Esplanade Gardens, and I was a virgin. And his mom used to let me sleep over there because she used to be like, she ain't getting you no pussy anyway.
Wow.
So she didn't even care. She would be like, yeah, she ain't giving you no pussy. And he lied to me and told me he was going to NYU, but he went to BMCC.
That's a hood
He
nigga
definitely
NYU.
tried to hustle me.
College.
You know, shit.
It's like I knew a guy was from Brooklyn because he had a gun. I'll be like,
What?
oh, he's definitely from Brooklyn. They shooting over there.
They shooting over there.
No, for real. Brooklyn niggas always had their hammers back in the day for some
Right.
reason.
You know what?
That's how I learned first. The first time, well, we ain't gonna say name, but the first time I learned a gun was nigga, his aunt or something lived in my project building, and he used to come over there like every weekend and from Bed-Stuy, and he came over the one week. He had the big Chrome 4.5. He said, yo, want to see this shit go
Brooklyn.
off?
Wow.
Go to the roof. He started letting that shit off. Pop, pop, pop. That shit scared the shit out of me. We flew down them steps so fast.
It's like, hell no,
You know what? I'm
stop
not gonna lie,
shooting.
because they did used to shoot on my block all the time in Brooklyn, and I just thought that happened everywhere. But especially New Year's, they would.
Oh, that's
yeah.
a tradition.
yes,
You know, that's a tradition.
Shots in the
because there's a
air.
lot of Caribbean people, and West
That's
Indian people let
everywhere.
it shoot in the air,
I feel like the guys from the Bronx, you knew they was from the Bronx because they always wanted to fight. Like, it's like, why y'all fighting? Y'all just want to fight for no reason.
Bronx is a little bit more grimier than
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And they always
niggas-
wanted to stay on the block with the
sure.
2 for $5 crack.
Bronx
like they
niggas
the
drinking-
selling crack for cheap.
That
It
water
was
they
like,
drink in the Bronx, and you know how I came up. I grew up in the Bronx also, so that shit is that Bronx is different.
Yeah,
That's
Bronx
what I'm
is
saying. They
different.
always want to
Them
fight.
niggas different. You definitely gotta be tough to come up in the
I'm
Bronx.
telling you, I
bro.
got the lineup of the guys guys from New York, I could tell them like from a mile away. I know which is I know what borough.
What about the women? Like from the different
tell the
boroughs?
women,
Can you
right.
tell the difference?
Of women from a different borough?
Yeah, from like Brooklyn, from
Sometimes
Harlem.
you could tell if she a Brooklyn chick, and sometimes you could tell if she a Harlem. You can really tell from who's talking.
I feel like I get that a lot.
What borough
People-
you think I'm from the way I talk?
Chelsea. No, wait.
Yeah. She blew it up. I'm from all right. But I got the Bronx. You could hear the Bronx in it.
That's where you used to hang out at all the
My
time?
mom is from the Bronx, but I grew up in Chelsea. I went to school, and I'm from the Chelsea projects. So I went to school in
Chelsea
the city.
is actually
I went
first
to
place I
Brandeis.
hustled at.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
They used to have-
my guys from Manhattan. It's another group of guys. The guys from the city, they always had money. They always had lots of money in their pocket. Like my guys in the Bronx, they was hustling, but they was always hustling the wrong way. Like
Yeah.
Chelsea, Prod, yo, you just gave me a hell of a flashback.
yeah, I'm 26 Street,
Sean,
South
Mick,
Avenue.
yo, you could, everything was twice there, like double down there.
Exactly.
you
It
could
was
take
like working
the
from out of
$10
town.
The dimes of crack uptown and bring them downtown. It's $20 for the dime of crack.
Yeah,
So we used-
like my
Yeah.
guys from Chelsea, they was always getting money.
different hood.
They was always
That's where
getting
the
money.
Williams are from,
It's
right?
Like
Midtown.
guys would come from Harlem and from Brooklyn and other boroughs
And
to
double
work
up.
in Chelsea because it was like working out of town.
100%.
I don't know if we should talking about
Out of
this.
town.
one.
Let's go to Chelsea.
Yeah,
People
100%.
people
They would
always
work
tell me
out-
I'm from the
They would work
Bronx.
shit
So.
out with people from the block and get money.
No, that shit, like my man lived, his family lived in that building. Niggas.
No, that's what I always said. My guys from the Bronx, they be selling the crack for 2 for $5. The same
How
2
about
for
one of
$5
my friends I'm talking about put himself through law school.
Just
with
for
Chelsea
that.
money.
And he's
Wow.
a lawyer right now.
I think it's a different
You heard?
perception, right? Because
Listen,
it's
no,
And my
downtown.
guys from Chelsea, the same thing. I
Different
was going
type
for
of
$5 in the
energy.
Bronx.
100%.
Was going for $25 in
heard?
Chelsea.
But it's a different perception because it's downtown, right? So like they look at it
Yeah,
differently.
they charging you white people
Yeah,
prices. Like, nah, this is
exactly.
Midtown. Y'all got to go up a notch.
Exactly.
And that's the clientele in the Chelsea projects.
And this is real New York talk right here.
Right.
For people
Yeah,
listening from
for
all
sure.
over.
yeah.
Because you had all the people at lunchtime that worked in all them office buildings walking all the way to the project to
Yep.
come get some coke or come get some crack and then
Yes.
go back to work.
Yeah.
Now, as an artist, where's the first place you traveled to on the road?
As an artist, what's the first place me and Cam went to? Is it the first 2 places me and Cam went to was, I remember that was the first 2 shows was DC and Chicago. DC, it was P. Stu, Steph Lover, and one other person. This was like Howard Homecoming, 97, 8? 98 Howard Homecoming. Right after that, they flew us to Chicago. That's where it was Don C, Happy, John Monopoly. I mean, this is 98, so all these same niggas, just before Kanye was in
they
Kanye
all
was in the
around
picture.
too. Yeah.
They were all babies. You heard? I remember Don C jumping on the hood of a bitch car because she rolled over my feet.
What?
What?
This is early. This is teenage Don C. So though I won't forget that because of that moment with Don C and shit like that. I always used to remember about that for years and shit like that. But those are the first 2 places me and Cam ever went off of Camp success was DC, Howard Homecoming, and then Chicago.
How was it being in those different cities from New York?
Everything was wild at that time because it was just, everything was different. Every time we went to was different. Niggas was talking different. It was the 90s. Niggas was moving different. It was a lot of hustlers around. A lot of niggas getting money off of hustling. Like it just was a different feeling than right now. Like all this digital and these scams and all, it's way different from where we grew up. Everything was cash.
It's really real.
If you said you had money, you had to show it.
Right.
You heard? It wasn't no hiding behind Instagram, nothing, bro. You had to come to the club with that bag. And it was only a few people coming to the club and really showing out back then. It wasn't looking like smoke and mirrors where you got 10 scammers in the club and it's looking like all these niggas is millionaires. You heard? It was niggas getting money, and if they was busting them bottles, that was the direction all the pretty girls was going. And it was no doubt about it. I was when Cristal was $400 a bottle and Moet was $100 a bottle.
Everybody used to get
Yeah.
Cristal. What happened to Cristal? It's gone.
Were they receptive
drank
to
it all.
y'all?
Being racist.
Were they receptive to y'all, like coming from New York to these other cities?
Oh nah, Cam had first of all, let's get back to Cam. Cam was one of the biggest stars from the moment he came out. He was a multi-platinum artist. Off top, he came out when Eminem and DMX came out simultaneously, and Nori simultaneously at the same time. Nori was one of the hottest niggas in New York. DMX was on Super Fire, and Cam came in on scorch. Everything he did up until the mid 2000s was a platinum or multi-platinum records, him and Jewel. So, you know what, history gets to be forgotten so fast because there's so many eras we passed, but let's never ever forget that wherever we went, we were platinum artists. So we would, back then, you know,
crazy.
A writer, nigga. I had one pink starburst in my dressing room, like a writer, nigga. One of them shits ain't on our writer, we leaving here. Like, you dig? He was a platinum artist from the moment we came in. So the hardest time we had was after the first thing we did, the first tour we got on when Cam signed his deal was the Puffy, what was the shit, on my way to, what the fuck was Puffy tour?
Wait, what?
It was the only Bad Boy tour ever in 1998.
God, Puff Daddy and the Family.
No, in 1998, the
No
biggest
Way
tour.
Out.
No Way Out tour.
No Way Out.
Yes, Angela.
So
Of course.
we had to open up for that tour. That was the time of my life, but one of the brokest times of my life.
Oh.
So you got to figure
But that was a good tour.
we got on the road for 60 days. I'm used to hustling. I'm from the projects. I'm from the block. I know how to make money. Every day I'm on the block, I can make money. Now it's like yo, you're going on tour. You're opening up the Puff Diddy, biggest shit in the world. You're going to go crazy. All right, Cam, like we going on tour. These niggas peel off $600 for me, $600 for Cam. Like, yo, go ahead. That's your per diem.
You're like,
All right.
So all they gave you was per diem?
For 60 days?
60-day Puffy World Tour, $600.
you was like, wait
hold
a
on,
minute.
Hold on, slow down.
That's crazy. I mean, it's
Did y'all turn the
That was
tour
called
into the
per diem.
block?
So wait,
You can support a
$600
rapper.
a day?
No, $600.
For the whole entire
$60.
tour?
days?
That's what Un gave us a piece, $600. See,
Damn.
but you know, Cam signed a deal,
Yeah,
big
so
ass
he
deal.
was
So
already
he got
good.
some money and shit like that. But still, in all, it don't feel good
not
to
gonna
get
be asking him,
$600. Like you dig, period. But I'm just saying, for me, it's like, all right, Cam got the deal. He'll be all right doing this shit, and he's the rapper. Me, I'm like,
And this was 60 days?
and I got an apartment back in the projects I got to pay rent for,
Right.
and shit like that.
And you could have
my
made
God,
600 back in the hood in like a couple
Well, I got the hustle in my
One
app. When I got, so this is
Right.
our first tour ever. We didn't even have shows at this point. They just put us right on a tour with Diddy, Busta Rhymes.
Big
This
ass
was
tour.
the
Busta and
dopest
Slim
shit.
do
Yo,
not
That's a
fucking
big
play
tour.
when they hit that stage.
Right.
Bro,
Yes.
by the time we finished that tour, Diddy, but the whole tour used to come out and watch our show in the beginning of the show because we were going so crazy on that tour. I left that tour with more than $600. Please believe you.
Of course.
That's what it was for.
You learn the ropes quick and you watching what everybody got they road. This one roadies was something like, yo, I'm a roadie on the tour and all that. You just watching niggas. So now niggas are scalping their own tickets. Diddy giving niggas VIP tickets. They got to come back with this type of money for Diddy. I'm like, Cam, we got to
gonna
get
do
into,
that,
we
yeah.
need some tickets and we gonna bubble up. Like
And
for
after
me,
parties, what about that?
we were opening acts.
Right.
It wasn't our tour.
So they wasn't getting the
I'd have
bookings.
still been
You
trying to,
heard?
whatever they
At
not
that
taking.
point,
and
at that point, it's entertainment paying Diddy and them for us to have
to
that
be there.
open slot.
Oh,
Right.
okay. So
Right.
they
But
had to
keep in
pay for
mind,
that slot.
Un is Biggie's partner. Biggie signed Cam. Let's not forget that. This is, you dig? So we got on that tour because of Biggie, really. That's still Biggie's artist when Biggie just passed away.
Right.
We got signed few months after Biggie passed away because we saw Un at the We Love Big Papa video with Cam and with the locks in them, and we told Un, yo, this is Cam. Big said he was gonna give him a deal, and Un was like, yeah, Big told me about Duke. Yo, come to the office on Monday, and that's how Cam got signed. So fast forward, we got on that tour because of Big, really, and shit like that. But that tour showed us life. Like
Right.
we knew where we was going. Like
You think
dig?
artists are too spoiled nowadays? Because if you told the artist right now, like, do people still pay to go on tours? Because I remember that was a thing. Like, if you wanted to open, that still happens?
All of these things happen, and you can't say. You have some young artists that probably didn't put no work in the game.
Because sometimes people have
It's
one
quick.
single that's big and they start.
It's quick. It's quick to get jaded when you got one single and that shit go on Steam.
Right.
There's no way around.
Got one big TikTok.
Go
Right.
crazy, you dig? But for the most artists that been here and put some work in, and now it may seem like they acting funny. You don't know what they went through to be able to act funny. Not saying that's a good way to go about it, but each person is different. Like, I'm happy to be able to have a second career after doing
Right.
shit that is told you, like giving people my ass to kiss, because I had it and I was there. Like that shit come back to bite you even harder because niggas will let you kick them in your ass in the ass while you going up. When you coming back down, please believe me, they gonna kick you in your ass with all the might they can. You heard?
Because also sometimes when you going down, they could be going up. So
it happens like that. A lot of the niggas that I may have not, even though it don't mean nothing to me, you dig? But for them, it meant more for them than it was for me because they felt that it was maybe a stat that. But I'm a hustler. I don't know. We don't never take it as we ride. I'm going to get money regardless.
Back then, did you ever have like, you know, a lot of times when guys are starting out, they have a woman take care of them and they living with her.
I had plenty of women that took care of me, and I used plenty of women. Not to say that there was time I was down on my luck, and the way that I knew how to get money was by getting close to a woman's heart. That was one of the things that I was good at when I was, I'm talking about late teens, early 20s and shit like that. Beginning of my career, shit like that, when things were up and down and shit like that.
He's light-skinned and bullet,
females.
and they was cake mama all over that one. What you mean?
Yeah, I got a couple tax returns. Like I need that. Get this tax return. I'm going to bring this right.
I'll bring it right back.
Okay, what about this? Did you ever fuck with somebody that you would be embarrassed if anybody knew that you did back then? Like when you was, if they ever see?
I dealt with a couple of big girls.
Wow.
In the dark.
At least she kept you warm.
Hey, a nigga gotta do what he gotta do to keep that appearance up, that drip glow. Big girls always keep a job and they always got credit. You heard? When I was younger, sometimes the hustle don't go as is.
And I heard they be having
that
some
nigga
fire
gotta bounce
pussy.
back somehow. And
I heard big girls be having some fire pussy.
Hey, they definitely got that.
Okay.
You definitely got the head.
They definitely got
Did you ever
that.
get caught with somebody leaving your room and they, you know, and guys is like, oh shit, she left your room. I see you.
What do you mean? Like
you know, like you was trying to sneak.
Like you was creeping with something you ain't had no business with, and the homie saw you on the walkout.
Yeah.
Definitely.
That happened a lot of times coming up.
Oh, what about, because I figure a tour like that.
Bro, we've been grown rappers since we've been teenagers.
I know, because you think
Imagine
about
this
it
shit.
like.
It's a long time.
Because I know I used to work in
imagine
music at a
this
young
shit. These bitches
age.
was been.
What about, did you ever have a girl and somebody took her from you that night?
Oh, the
I think
steal.
me and Cam used to go through all that
Back
type
and
of shit
forth.
all the time. Like back a joint, and then Cam be
The robbery.
was
That's the
nigga
robbery.
At that time,
It should go to him.
that bitch was only getting next to me to get right next to me. I'm like,
That's the name of the game, though. Sometimes
the fuck? Shit.
Damn.
it's crazy. But y'all learned that early, though. So.
Yeah, but we never was.
You ever get robbed by a girl?
No, we wasn't with none of that type of shit.
Like, you know, you leave some shit in the room and you wake up like, where's my...
I never was into that. I always kept my belongings in the safe. I never was into that. I never fell asleep when I was younger and had been with a bitch. Nah.
You lucky, because I feel like everybody got
Especially
one
in
of
the
them
90s.
stories.
They was
at
running
least.
pockets in the 90s.
Yeah.
If
Early
you let them
2000s,
run
they
pockets,
was
these
running
niggas,
pockets.
I don't do drugs and none of that. I do weed and shit like that. I don't be out of pocket. I didn't do no E's and none of that type
But
of
you
shit.
could have been just tired and fell asleep.
Respectfully, in my 20s, I wasn't tired. I wasn't going to sleep.
Right.
And bitch, you was getting
was
out.
hustling.
It wasn't no you dig
Bye,
it.
bitch.
And if you was staying, you definitely couldn't get next to my jury. And if you was staying and you did think about robbing me and you seeing all them blood members outside in front the whole time, I don't think you was like you wasn't trying
Like,
it.
let me leave this one alone.
It didn't make sense. Like it's 100 niggas here. Like I left a $500,000 chain in the hotel room before.
Wow.
Did you get it back? No.
Yes.
No.
Sheesh.
Man.
No. In DC, I never forget it.
Wow.
What?
This is when
Half
the
a million?
big
Crazy.
diamond solitaire change was out.
Tennis joint.
Yeah.
Big.
Yeah, y'all. Dipset got
big-
legendary jewelry.
big
Look
shit.
at him right now on the cover.
Yeah.
So
This is a calm day.
That shit was like really a 400 piece, some shit like that, 3 something like don't. And
Wow.
I left it on the. I don't know. I know how you be on the bed. I think I had it on the bed and didn't realize that I left. We halfway to New York, and I'm like, yo, where my chain at?
Fuck.
I call a hotel.
Of course, they
crazy.
have no recollection.
No, we didn't
Somebody
see
quit
that.
their job.
Housekeeping quit that day.
Somebody quit their
I
job.
literally cried for like a week behind that. Like literally.
Oh my
And it
God,
literally
that's
has to be
sick,
the
man.
housekeeper, right? Because
course,
when you
who
check
else
out,
in
who
there?
else goes into the room?
Housekeeping.
And you know how many times I've left my watch or one of my chains, one of my
And
rings
even if the
in the
housekeeper
bed.
handed it in, whoever she handed it to was
Oh
like,
yeah, somebody.
Definitely.
wow.
Somebody was
Sorry.
they can
Yeah,
fire
that's
me
why
about this shit.
whenever
Cause
I
I'm
leave
like,
a
you heard? Like, I'm
Whenever I
like,
leave a room,
They
that's why I
probably
take the blanket off to make sure I didn't leave anything in the bed because I'm known for
Under the bed, just in case you
In the
drop
bed.
something, like everywhere, even in the bathroom. Like,
I never.
Now let me ask you this. Let's just say you on the road when you were younger, you fuck a chick, and then let's just say later on one of your boys ends up wifing her up. Would you tell him, like, you know, when I was in?
We've done that also, and we've come to a conclusion that that's not the proper thing to do. You heard?
as far as
Keep it
what?
to yourself.
Yeah, you did, because in
That
my
was in this
experience,
now.
niggas don't care about that shit. You heard? Niggas I don't know what it, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, niggas not like, it's not like he gonna not fuck with her. Like, you dig?
late
Like, it's not
now.
like, you dig? Now you just looking like,
I
you
hate
just throwing a hater, you throwing it in his
But
face.
if
Like,
you
dig?
wife
Like,
her though, versus just fuck her, like wifing is just a different commitment.
yeah, but at that
By that
point,
time, it's too late.
Hey, yo, but
He
I've
in 10 toes deep.
it's nasty. You can't tell nobody who to wife who at all.
Everybody
respect
got a
that.
pass.
You
too.
could show,
respect
you
that.
could pull out a iPhone right now, like, look, nigga, this was last night, nigga. You dig? Like, and he gonna be like, all right. And when you leave,
He's still. Yeah.
you dig? Like,
Yeah.
a person's preference is a person's preference. Who a person want to be with is who a person want to be with. Like, you dig? And if they want to be with each other, ain't nothing gonna stop that in the world.
And like Ange said, everybody has a past too. And sometimes like she probably didn't even know that y'all was friends or that there was a connection.
Care about
there.
a person's past, but when you young,
It's an ego thing.
yes, people always put these things on certain things that really don't hold no merit with nothing. Like, nigga, she was not with you in her past. Like,
Right.
that has nothing to do with you, dig? Like,
But even nowadays though, I feel like a lot of guys get a trip off of that to just be like, oh, I had that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that was I
corny.
fucked that. I had
Oh,
that.
what if it was a video out?
That's corny.
But that's
That's
What if a video got leaked?
niggas, a lot of niggas are young. I don't know, man.
But
I
that's
mean,
whack,
like,
too.
You if you out there, like, I hit that, I hit that, I hit that, I hit that, I hit that.
That
like,
says a
nigga,
lot about
like, what
you.
Right.
yeah, that's
Like, shut
lame
up, man.
because if you had an intimate
Says a lot about your
situation with
integrity.
somebody and y'all decided
Yeah,
to
like-
how do
video
other
that,
men feel about that? Guys bragging.
Yeah,
that
that's
they-
lame.
Oh, let me ask y'all this, ladies.
Okay.
If I was with a dude and you had fucked my dude, would you tell me? Like,
Oh my God, I would tell you right away.
yeah.
oh,
I'd be like, Ange, listen, one time back in the day, I was drunk.
See, that's
I was drunk.
It's
Yeah.
We
different
went to
telling a nigga-
dinner.
It's
Yeah,
different telling a
definitely.
nigga you hit it before as opposed to telling a nigga, yo, I hate that bitch ain't no good, or trying
Right,
to hate on his
that's a
situation.
different
But if it's your
just
man,
letting me know because
and
I
you
don't
let
want to
it-
find out and you ain't
No,
tell
that's
me.
why I would
Yeah.
tell you.
Yeah,
'cause
of
you're my
course.
friend.
Honestly,
That
I think that's
I'm a-
something we would let.
I'm a
Okay,
do.
like,
Yeah.
You dig? But trying
Yeah.
to stop a nigga from fucking with a bitch, no. If I hit it, I'm like, nah, you know.
Okay, what if the girl tried to holler at you while she's with your man? Like, and would you tell him, like, you, just so you know, shorty, like, was definitely trying to give me a vibe?
Definitely. That's weak traits.
yeah.
Yeah.
You heard? Like, if
You gotta tell
If you
them.
currently
present
she's
time,
with
doing
the
that
person,
and that's your guy, that's a member, like, no, that's you. You's a weak ass nigga for that if you could take them signs and
not
continue
say
with
nothing.
that behind your guy's back.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
You
true.
heard?
gotta
If that's
tell
your
him.
member, you gonna tell him, and he probably be like, man, I don't care about that bitch. I don't, you dig? Like, or whatever it is and shit like that. But you have to tell your member if something like that happen. Like, boy, girl was trying to give me a vibe. Boy, I don't know what you got going on there. I'm just letting you know.
Because
So,
I feel
like,
like
if-
girls be lying too. They'll be like, no, I did not. He tripping. Like, why he hating? I ain't do
And
that.
then that's a whole nother situation.
that's
So it'd be
weird.
like, but if that's your member, if that's one of your guys, like,
Yeah.
not like you walked in the room, you know, a bunch of niggas from the industry and shit like that. And
Right.
If that's one of your guys,
Right.
you gotta.
So if you saying if that's your member, your guy, and he's fucking with a chick that you fucked beforehand, like years ago, you wouldn't tell him. You
No,
wouldn't
he
say,
would tell him,
We
but
talking
not
about
on
in the
some hating
current
shit.
time.
I said I would definitely let.
Him know. But not like don't
but
fuck
not
with her,
like-
but just
not hating like
Yeah.
she's a whore. No, I'm not trying to hate on nobody's situation, but I am going to let a nigga know so we don't.
I
have
know
no
her.
because
confusion.
imagine she tells him, like, you
Yeah,
know,
so
because
that's
she
not-
probably
Right.
thinking
Right.
he's gonna tell. So then I gotta
Yeah.
tell
That's
him
not what
first.
you dig,
Yeah.
and that's only if I know that he's involved with that chick.
Mm-hmm.
You dig? If it's just, if niggas do a lot of different shit. So if it's like that, it ain't no reason to be like, yo, I hit that too. But if you see a member getting involved with a chick and you know they starting to move
serious
in one accord and shit like that, then you gotta be like, yo, this, you dig? Like, let you know, whoa.
Now, can we flash back to Bebe for a second?
Baby.
So I want to ask you, after that, when did you learn how to be good at sex? Because I feel like sometimes guys have sex, but they're not good at it at first.
First couple times is awkward.
Yeah, it's a little
Practice
nervous.
makes perfect.
It was a girl in high school that taught me some shit that blew my mind. I'm like, no way she knows this. Like, what is going on? I can't say her. She was from Wagner also too, but I can't like.
Wagner.
Wagner was ill back in the
We
day.
don't want to know who she was. We want to know what she taught you.
She taught me. It just said she was so advanced when it came to sex. Like, she was like, I hit it from the back. I turn around. Let me get on top. Like, she was just
She knew what she
directing me,
wanted.
and I was like, whoa.
You weren't ready for all of that.
You dig?
Action.
And then I've been the mother of my son since high school, and the rest.
That's when you got good.
That's when.
So the chick from Wagner taught you, and then you took those skills.
You implemented that.
I took those skills, and she definitely gave me a foundation that I needed.
Built on those. Did you learn anything from porn? Like, you know, a lot of guys.
100%. 100%. Porn, you watch porn to get some moves. And then you tried that shit when you was younger. Like, oh, that shit worked. All right. And you just kept a couple moves in your arsenal and shit like that.
Is there a point where men stop watching porn?
I don't think so.
You thinking about something right now?
It's not like something like, I'm not talking like, yo, I'm going to watch porn, but I'm just saying, like, if you walk by and the nigga gonna watch it, or you on a cable and that shit happen to go on, you gonna watch it for a couple of minutes, like, oh, all right.
You watch on your
They
phone?
still show
watch
porn
on your
on
phone
cable?
sometimes on the road?
I'm not like no porn guy like that. Like, I'm gonna go home and shit.
Your woman,
I'm
yeah.
watching
Fuck
the
your
porn
woman.
like that for, but shit, I'm not going to skip it if it walks by me like shit. Oh shit, all right, but nah, I'm gonna go home and make my own porn. We gonna porn it out if that's how I'm feeling.
Yo, ain't it crazy to see the evolution? Like, was there a time when you thought you and Cam was never going to be cool again? Or did you always know that at one time you would patch it up?
Yeah, that's Cam. That's Cam. And I guess he feels the same way about me. So our relationship that we have between each other, nobody probably would ever understand and shit like that. And I'm cool with that.
brothers.
Yeah, because it was a long time though. And it was feeling like, how is this going to...
We still go through off and on moments where we don't speak to each other or anything like that. And people take all that shit the wrong way. But it's what it is. You dig? Like, I'm very appreciative of what Cam has done for me in my time in his career, because without no Cam, it would be no me. And that's wholehearted and shit like that. Did I fight my way to get where I'm at? Yes. But it would not be a fight if Baby Bro didn't say, come on, take this route with me.
Yeah.
You dig?
Get out that class.
Sure.
and
Yeah,
come
get
on,
out the
let's
class,
work.
right.
100%. And we did some incredible shit with this diplomat thing. Shout out to Joel and shout out to Zeke and shit like that. Remember, we were just kids. We didn't have nobody telling us what to do. We didn't have no OGs over us. We just was teenagers that just bust out and did everything we wanted to do and did it our way, whether it was right or wrong and shit like that. And a lot of that may have caused a lot of confusion because we didn't know what we were doing so young. We were making shitloads of money and we were making music, and those are the two things that we knew how to do and shit like that. You know what I mean? And I'm grateful. Shit, we had Cam has a shitload of money. Joel's is well off. Freaky Zeke does good for himself. Like, and that's what it was all about. So niggas won't be out here looking crazy or hurting or doing anything and shit. It worked.
Now, there was a rumor that the new album, I saw Hitmaker posted, is called Prime 112. True or false?
False.
So why did he say that?
Was he trying to make a joke?
I don't know what he was
Probably,
trying to do.
No, I said probably.
I don't know why he would do that. Can we skip? Can we go to?
I was
to
just
next?
asking because you do have a...
He's like, can we skip this question?
There's no way I could not at least ask that. But okay, but
Jeremiah's gonna come out with some shit.
I just want to make sure this is true. So Jeremiah's on the album. Ty Dolla $ign is on the
Ty
album.
Dolla $ign is
Our
on the
girl
album.
Tink is on the album.
Oh, we love
Tink.
Tink.
We have a fucking fire record.
We
Like,
love Tink.
Tank, that's dope.
fire. Bo Greasy's on that record also, but that shit is fire. Shouts to Tink. She definitely, I was supposed to shoot the video, hopefully in a couple weeks. Go back
Where you
to
gonna do
Miami.
it?
I'm shoot it in Miami.
Okay. Who else is on the album?
Benny the Butcher's on the album.
Conway.
Conway is on the album. Fab is on the album. Who else is on the album? Pleasure P. Nah, Pleasure, listen to me. Listen to me.
Boyfriend number 2 is still my
Listen
shit.
to me.
Pleasure-
That nigga Pleasure P know how to write. That nigga know how to
he's
do
very
some
talented.
fucking
Yeah, he
music.
is talented.
That nigga gave me a bomb called Drugs, and we talking about a female and how she was our drug. That shit is so
lit.
fucking crazy. Shouts to Pleasure P. You dig?
I know y'all be hanging out in Miami
What you mean?
with Pleasure P because he's fun.
I mean, well, shit. I don't. This was the first time I've been in this. He was in. We was in Prime earlier that night eating, and then
See, you brought it out, not me.
I'm just telling you how the record came about. Then after he came to the studio, Berg told him come to the studio. We working on the album. He pulled up. I'm like, I'm looking at this. I'm like, Pleasure P, cool. I didn't.
Yeah, he's very
You
talented.
did, but I had no fucking idea how fire that nigga was when it come to doing music. That nigga went in there and whipped that shit. I'm like, oh shit, you gave a nigga a bomb. Like,
So what is the album called?
the album was, I told him to make the album called Hitmakers. Like, shit. I didn't really have no title for it and shit like that. I told him he could use his slogan.
Okay, so that's
and
what
shit
happened.
for
You
it.
told him to make the title and he made the title and said that's what it was called.
And that's what it
And
was
you don't
called.
like it.
And you were like, come on,
You're like,
man.
nah,
He's
that's
like,
not
I don't
it.
have any
Doesn't
comment
fit.
on
It
this.
doesn't, yeah, it
Doesn't
doesn't.
fit, yeah.
No, that's not even in his character to like clout chase after an
Yeah,
alleged
we not
situation. Like,
doing
we know
none
you're
of
better than
that.
that.
We trying to keep it solid and keep
Yeah.
moving. But the fucking album is incredible. I was like, for the most people that know my music, is a certain sound that I have, but this is different. Like, he definitely gave me bona fide hits that he would give any big artist inside of this game. So I'm very excited for these records to drop. Like, super dope. And then I got a Gangsta Grill about to drop on January 14th.
And Mano, the Lobby Boy.
We got the Lobby Boys, and I also got a whole Spanish album that I did called.
Wait.
A
Broken
reggaeton
String.
album?
Doing a whole
Got
lot.
reggaeton, got puchata, got
Yes.
every Spanish genre of music. We got on that cover.
Right now.
And we got a bunch of dope
right
Spanish
now. I can't
artists.
stop listening to Spanish music. I'm on a Spanish music
You
Like,
bed.
been
got-
listening to Spanish.
I
know, I always
7 years.
have. I always have.
I did a record with Thali one night. I called Thali like, yo, meet me at the studio. You ready? He like, yeah, let's go. I did a record with Thali Goya one night. And I'm like, this shit sound fire. I said, I want to keep coming in and doing more records. He like, you should. And I just started coming to my man Flock's studio like every night. And we just started doing records. Like, I got records with like Eladio, Shello Shack, it's a bunch of these up-and-coming Spanish artists and some artists that people know. And
That
shit.
is a money-making
Yeah, the Latin
No,
market.
it's a big
Latin market is
Nah, the
big.
album
I'm
is
telling you,
fire,
like
though.
she said,
Like,
I
niggas,
don't
it's
even speak
So it's
Spanish.
done
I'm
already?
Listening to
It's
Spanish
done
music.
already. Well, of course, I got room for some more big artists, but I got the album. I got it. I got like 30 records, 30 Spanish records
How
already
the hell
done.
do you have time to do all this?
I was doing the Spanish album the same time I was doing a Lobby Boy. So I go and do a Spanish record, then leave from there, go down to Mano Studio and do the Lobby Boy
Working.
record. So I be working.
This is fucking amazing.
Right?
Wasn't expecting that, the Spanish album.
Yeah, no, it's
but
dope. That
I'm
was,
excited
fire.
about that.
I was like a crash course for me to learn Spanish. I mean, I'm Puerto Rican. I know a little bit of Spanish and shit like
You
that.
and
but
Nori.
No, but us Puerto
For the
Ricans
most
from New
part-
York, we don't speak Spanish.
But you was rapping everything English, right? No
No,
Spanish.
it's-
You did a little.
No.
The whole thing
I
is
did a
Spanish?
Spanish album.
So
So it's
everything.
called Broken Spanglish. So if you from uptown, you know how niggas talking
For
Spanish
sure.
uptown. Half
Exactly.
English, half Spanish. So that's
DK,
the whole
DK.
shit.
Que lo que.
It's not like I'm
Deeper-
gonna like
deeper
it.
than
It's
that, I'm really,
not like.
I'm really talking that shit. Pampada.
Oh,
I'm a
that's
gangster,
different.
Like, wow.
So they was teaching you some shit
I
like
learned the most Spanish in the past 4 months than I
Yeah,
learned in
that's
my
how you
whole life by going there
cool.
dealing with each of these Spanish
That's
artists.
amazing.
That's pretty dope. Now you got to
Yeah,
spend
that's
some time
cool.
in Puerto Rico
I spent time in Puerto Rico and I got to spend time in DR. So I got some
and Montserrat.
and Montserrat.
You know a great place in DR that you should go to?
Atlantica.
It sounds a little shaky.
Atlanta Domingo.
Oh, okay.
What is it called?
Atlanta Domingo.
That's another episode that's coming up.
Service joke.
But Jimmy, honestly, like you have so many great things happening, and you always do, because you are an entrepreneur at heart, as well as being an artist, as well as being consistent throughout all this time. So, you know.
Consistent. They say if you can't stay motivated, stay consistent.
So I like that. Let's focus. He was like, I don't want to talk about that shit. Let's just talk about this.
Yeah, like I'm just trying to. I'm at a point in my life, like you know, I ain't
drama.
We all make bad decisions and shit like that, but it's how you
move past it.
you dig, and I'm really trying to.
So you're done with that. You're moving past it.
I don't know what you're talking
You
about.
can't get
but I'm just saying,
distracted.
I'm just focused
Jimmy.
on life. You dig? Like just focus on life.
I knew we should have gave him a drink. So
It's doing pretty good right now. Very good, and I thank y'all for.
Somebody get Jimmy some Cisco so we can ask him more questions.
Right.
But you can ask me what you want. I'll answer anything. But you know, certain
Right.
things I'm just not into. I'm trying to keep it.
All right. Well, I do want to ask you, because is that all over with, like the Freddie Gibbs situation?
I don't know what you're talking about.
But I'm saying there's no issue.
No, I don't know of any issue.
Okay, that's all I'm saying.
There is no issue.
And I was saying this on the Breakfast Club. I don't want to see that happen.
Yeah.
You know, just because Freddie's saying he's coming to New York, da-da-da-da-da.
He said
and,
what?
And I feel
What was this?
But I'm going to say this too. I feel
But
like.
what was this? Let me hear what you said. Let me hear what you was getting at. He said what? This was recently? But what happened? I'm trying to learn the whole situation because I don't be in the
Stop
press.
it, Jimmy,
Wow.
stop it.
What
But
is this? But what was this? What was happening? What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
He's got sold out shows in New York.
That's cool.
And he's saying he's coming to New York. And there was a allegation that y'all got into a fight at Prime 112 because somebody posted it.
Let that man come get his money.
And I agree with that, because I will say this.
It's the city.
I feel like social media be hyping things
This
up
is the city of love,
and
man.
making things worse.
Let that man come get some of that money, man. It's the city of love. you
Yeah,
heard?
I think everybody just, feed your family, do what you love,
Get your
and
bag,
just
man. It's
focus
a good
on
time
you.
out here in the world.
It
You
really
dig?
is.
Media puts things in way further than things need to be and shit like that. Man, I'm not into that. You heard? And silence never betrayed me. I'm cool, man. Let that
What did
man
you think
come get
about
his
Uncle
money.
Murda's wrap up?
It was cool. Uncle Murder, he's got a little bit comedic side and shit like that when he does his wrap up, But it's cool. Shouts to Uncle Murder.
And Skills and Justina Valentine, everybody who did their wrap ups.
I didn't get to hear everybody's.
That's fucked up.
wrap-ups.
Skills started it.
I'm an avid. I didn't say I heard. What's his name? I didn't hear the
Uncle Murder.
I just heard the little clips that's on the Instagram when they highlight your name and it pop up on your feed and shit like that. So
Yeah.
that's how I heard it. I haven't heard Uncle Murder's neither. I mean,
He too busy making 85 albums and being a super
Spanish
dad.
record.
Learning Spanish. You know what I'm saying? And with the crypto and the Bitcoin.
Yeah, everybody just got to keep getting the money and focus on the family.
that's what I've been
music.
on.
his
I've been
own
trying to get to
thing.
my
Like,
bag. I've been,
Dinero.
yes,
Dinero,
I've been
right?
trying to-
Spanish.
I've been trying to stay out as much bullshit as
Big
possible.
Capo De Niro.
I don't want no smoke with nobody. I just want to make some money, have some fun, enjoy life.
Enjoy life.
And that's
doing
what we
the
want to
things
do. We
I'm
love
into.
seeing you in this space of happiness.
Yes, please. I want to stay happy. That's all I want to do.
Yeah.
I thank y'all though for real for not really attacking me. I watched the show a lot of times.
Who
and
attacked?
He was
We never
nervous.
attacked
the
anyone
shit
on
y'all
the show.
be, the
was
shit y'all
nervous.
be talking about on
Listen,
here.
I'm gonna tell you.
I'm a fan of. You heard? And a lot of the enemy would like to interact and say and go crazy with y'all like. But I got it. You dig like?
Were you nervous coming on?
A little bit. You heard?
I like that
Sure.
because Jim don't seem like he never gets nervous. I like the
Right.
fact that when he first got here, he seemed a little nervous.
He didn't
but-
know what to
You in
expect.
a room with 4 women, and we know the context of
The
this show.
dynamic
Like
of
so,
the
it's,
show.
you know what I mean. So it's just like me being here. Everybody knows my situation, so it's like,
Right.
and I would like to partake without going too far and then getting home. Like nigga, what?
Right.
You would keep it
Well, you know what,
respectful.
Jimmy? I'm gonna tell you this.
TMI.
Yeah.
I know I'm running to Chrissy. I respect her and your relationship. That's why we ask you general questions
No, it's
about
dope.
things just to see how you feel about life, and also to hear about Jim Jones, what made you who you are today, your thoughts on relationships, your thoughts on sex. So
Your
It's
growth.
good. I enjoy it.
it's great.
It's a
Sex
great
is
thing.
amazing.
It can be great. Sex can also be terrible.
It can be
Yeah,
terrible.
it can be.
It's what you make it. Sex is what you make it, right?
It can be terrible.
For a guy, it doesn't. I mean, you know.
For guys,
it's never terrible as long
It's
as
like
you come.
almost never terrible. Like as long as you could kind of like, it's like, oh,
So you've
like,
never had
Except
terrible
for a
sex?
guy.
I mean,
Almost
yeah,
never
of course, you'd
But
be
not
like,
often.
of course, you'd be like, man, this
Pussy
bitch
whack.
couldn't fuck at all. This bitch is terrible. You dig? But at the end of the day, you saying that after you nutted, so it was just
Right.
like,
So I was
dig?
gonna
Like,
say, as long as you come, it's cool.
yeah, but yeah, you
So
bump
do
it,
guys
Got
give
the
the
job
same?
done.
Do guys give the same props to women that are amazing in bed that they trash talk girls who are terrible?
I think so.
100,000,000%.
Does it bother you if you're about to come from oral sex and the woman moves and doesn't let you come in her mouth?
Oh.
Does that like fuck up the flow? Because I've heard women say, I won't let a guy come in my mouth. And I wonder if that fucks up the whole like
The flow of
climax.
things.
Have you had that?
At home, that hasn't happened to me. But
Okay.
when I was
Previously.
younger,
When I was younger,
Before
back in
you
the day,
previous
were married.
episodes,
back in the day.
yes, terrible.
Terrible. It does fuck it up, right?
It's terrible. It's like, come on, that's terrible. Like, we gonna be, you grown or what? Like, what are we doing here? Like, why would you?
Why would
What do
you?
you do?
Why would
You
you
like-
not
like,
complete
you
the
feel-
task at hand?
Unless it was to aim it somewhere else, and then you
Right.
dig. Then it was like it was a
But that's
more,
a sexy part.
Have you ever been like freaked out by something that a woman asked you to do, or caught off guard? Like, oh shit, I didn't know you was coming with that. Back in the day.
freaked out. Back in the day, some of the things like women would request would be like bizarre. Like, nigga, you got a belt on? Like,
A belt.
Choke me with it.
Choke you with the belt?
yeah,
Like,
like
even with baby, did she do anything?
that was
That's a
13.
one-time.
That was like
No, that was
13. That was like, I didn't even
early.
have to put a condom
Yeah,
on and
that
shit
was
like
too
that. That
early.
was way too early. Like, but I'm just saying, you like,
Or like,
yeah, I got a belt.
What I
Like,
mean
what do
is
you
like
mean?
the unexpected. Like, have you ever been like shocked? Because I mean, you know, in your heyday, you was in a lot of cities.
I
and
just
you
told
was
you,
doing a whole
like,
lot.
you got a belt on, nigga. Like,
Oh, that
take
was
it
it?
off.
Me.
Choke me.
Oh, okay.
Like, that's like
That's crazy. That's
That's
pretty crazy.
asphyxiation though. That
what?
helps when
Oh,
someone's about to
you got a
orgasm.
belt on.
Beat me.
Whip this shit out me like what?
Did you do it?
Whip me till my ass start bleeding.
Or slap me like.
Would you do it, though?
Slap me harder. No, slap me, bitch ass nigga. Like what? Whoa, wait.
Whoa.
Did you do it? Yeah.
It could get awkward at first,
See,
but it's
hard.
like,
I
all
don't
right.
want- This is all.
If she asked you to do it, it's
way in the
This
past.
is like, don't get
Years
it twisted.
ago,
This is-
90s.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
not get it twisted.
Back
This
on the
is-
road, back in the day.
This
Listen, we know
Exactly.
you was
Road days,
a
but-
lover before you settled down.
100%.
Right.
And I've definitely came up across some bizarre sexual activities coming up in this industry, in this game. I definitely am a rapper.
You know that's what we really want to know.
Definitely
Like,
been
we,
on tour.
we gave you an
Yeah,
easy
we went
pass,
for it.
right? We gave you an
Definitely.
easy pass and we ain't go too hard, but you know, we want to know the juice.
I'm a rapper. I've been on tour. There's been hundreds of girls in the lobbies. There's been bitches tailing Dipset for miles. It's been like very bizarre. I seen bitches standing outside Cam door like it was a crack spot and shit like that. Like really like online. Like damn, they could have gave them bitches a
Sophie,
number. Like you're number one, you're number two, you're number three.
Wow.
We'll call you when it's time.
Damn.
Philadelphia, one of the craziest.
I'm from Philly.
Hey, Gigi.
I don't know how it is now.
Right. But there was this girl
But
named
in
Capo.
the day,
You know what?
no, I'm just talking in the day where we were going to Philadelphia, craziest city, hands down, when it came to the jump offs.
Good to know.
Wow. I don't know how I feel about that.
Wow, no, I mean it was.
You ended with the jump off.
I'm not saying.
You're making Philly girls.
It's just saying it's
all right.
Give us one
experience.
crazy
See,
story.
It's. But I'm going to give a trivia. I'm going to put a trivia. I will never tell you who it is, but it was one of the greatest female rappers of all time. That shit was fire. There was a fucking pool party. It's like 96, 97
Ooh.
for Cam in Philly. There was like 50 girls there. Not even gonna say his name. God bless his soul and shit like that. Dude for Philly at the time, very influential, getting a lot of money, doing an album release party for Cam. End up being a album release pool party, house party to the club party and back. When we got there, everything was cool. We didn't know who the girls was. We would go to the club. We came back. When we came back, that all the girls were strippers. Everybody was going crazy in the spot.
It sounds like the tip drill video.
Like retarded. Like, nah, Philly different. Shouts to Philly. Philly, I had a lot of great times with Philly. Then Atlanta's retarded too when I was younger.
Damn, both of my
So Philly's top.
Sheesh.
Philly's top.
I'm talking, yeah, but at that time, Philly definitely was ill. And I don't know, maybe because it was so close to New York, so it was just
They
Dipset
knew
probably
y'all
just
for
it just
real,
was a little,
for real.
That
Yeah,
East
but-
Coast.
But Atlanta,
Well, I know you love
Miami.
Atlanta. You had a nice little ATL run back in my Magic City heyday.
Magic City, I was
Remember that party we threw you with the t-shirts and shit?
Yes, I was a Magic City participant.
Your vacation, we called it.
A lot of
Vacation.
money.
Yeah.
A lot of money in Atlanta. I probably put some girls through college.
I
and
could
shit
tell
like
you,
that.
I'm gonna tell y'all one thing I remember about Jimmy in the strip club is there was a time, and I know you remember this, there was a time at the old Diamonds Cabaret, which is now G5, that you and Lil Wayne had a money fight.
Oh no!
Across the stage.
Oh my!
Remember
God.
that night?
And then the owner tried to tell me to get off the stage.
Yeah,
right? What I do
you
to
went
him?
ham. You went ham.
I think I
You
dumped a
went
bucket
ham.
of
You went
singles on that
ham.
nigga. Like, get
Yes.
the fuck off the stage.
Yes.
Crazy.
Yes. It was not. It was the other nigga, the tall nigga.
Like, yeah.
Tried to regulate because the girls that was on stage was getting way too much money, and they was trying to make sure that it got
Me
spread
and Wayne
around.
was OD
Y'all was
in that
OD.
night. Now we were really like
He was up on this side and you was over on that side, and the money was just like we couldn't
stage.
even see through.
I feel like that doesn't happen anymore.
No, listen,
that don't happen
Listen,
no more.
all right, so first of all, let's get back to who started Make It Rain. The nigga that started Make It Rain, his name is Zoe. He's from Miami. It's the first nigga I ever seen Make It Rain besides Big Pun. Big Pun didn't make it rain. He used to ball the money up and then
throw
hit the
it.
bitches in the head.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Miami.
Yeah, softballs full of money.
Zoe.
Terror Squad
Zoe
guys,
Pound Boys.
all of them.
Going down there, Rolex. First time, seen a nigga get 5,000 and just flicking that shit. Wah, wah, wah. Like, what?
What?
Took that shit everywhere. Now the whole game is starting to make it rain. That shit started in Miami. Niggas wasn't going to the strip club and making it rain. Now Atlanta's on Make It Rain. Now balling came out. Make It Rain became a sport.
Yeah.
Am I lying?
Made a lot of money for the
Yeah,
women.
competition,
when
guys.
bowling-
competing,
when bowling
doing
came
it.
out-
As a
Listen to
dancer,
me.
when balling came on, if you was on stage or at Magic City in the H, you already knew just off that one song you was gonna make all the money that you needed for that night. Because every nigga in the club that had money was throwing it in the air for the whole. And guess what? DJ Nando was gonna run it back. And he was gonna play that shit two,
Right,
three, four
right.
times until it wasn't no more money flying.
Crazy.
It was bad.
Crazy.
So Gigi's saying thank you.
I mean,
Thank you.
that was a great time. I definitely, Chrissy always told me like, boy, you spent too much money in them strip clubs. Like you went
It's a
wild
tax
in them
write-off.
strip clubs because
Man.
I was so heavy in the strip clubs when I first got with her. It was just like, it was just part of everything we was, she
That was
used to
part of
be
the
with me in the
lifestyle.
strip club half the time.
She probably helped you throw some ones.
I mean, you
at
could
some
call it
point.
giving.
Sure.
we,
Some 20s.
we blew bags,
Hundreds.
blew bags every night in a strip club. I was from Miami to Atlanta to New York. Niggas is blowing like
On
20,000
one night, what you think
anytime
was
we-
the most craziest night you had? Like you went like, the next day, you
Like
was like,
how
damn,
much?
did I really?
Like what you think is the most you ever do?
All
right in one night?
the craziest night in my life in a strip club was Houston All-Star Weekend, maybe 04 or no. Was it the year that it was when Ballin' came out?
Oh.
Wait. Did I have to wait? Let me see.
If you in the strip club and the song Ballin', come on, you ain't got no choice.
Was it when
Right.
Ballin' came out or right before Ballin' came out? I had the chain then. So it might have been whatever it was. I know it was All-Star Houston Weekend. If it's 06, 07, one of them type of shit.
What Onyx?
Everybody is inside the strip club. Wayne, Diddy, the niggas from Houston, I exaggerate not. We may have threw $500,000 in singles that night
Wow.
between
Between all of y'all.
Diddy, myself, Wayne. Diddy came in there with garbage bags full of money. He came in there with like
Wayne
100.
used to do that too.
Bro, he had to come with 150,000 singles. I don't know how the fuck he got that. I remember I flew with Diddy.
He planned that
with Diddy
out.
to that shit. Listen,
He planned that out.
when I tell you, I've never seen nothing like this. Like, you know,
The
You're not
mic.
talking in the mic.
The mic.
a snowstorm, the whole club,
It didn't even rain. It snowed.
the whole club. You see
Blizzard
what
in
it, you see what it's
Yeah, like an
Blizzard.
inches. You talking about
That's where the money
It was
was.
up that high.
Wow. Knee
So
high.
it was a foot of money.
No, bro, you like
Knee
it
high.
got to a point where the bitches were just standing there with the garbage bags
holding them
open.
open.
Like, I don't
They
gotta
wasn't
do
even-
nothing.
I ain't
they
even
wasn't
gonna
even-
do no more.
Crazy.
That's how much money was being. I'm talking about nonstop for like
That's a Texas thing.
2 hours straight.
I'ma
I'm
tell
talking
y'all.
about nonstop. I've never ever seen no shit like
The
that
only
ever in
time
my
as a
life.
dancer, y'all know I had a good 10-year run in these strip clubs. The only time I ever seen girls hold the trash bag open was until I seen it in Dallas and I seen it in Houston. And
'Cause it
get
get
to the
too
point where
stupid.
they put the bag over top of their head.
Because
and
it
just
gets
stand
too
there with the
stupid
bag
after a
over their
while.
head and just let the bag fill up. Like,
Yo,
ain't none of this. Ain't no
You're
scraping
not
it up off the
understanding
ground.
the
They
money
catching it
don't
as it's
stop.
falling down.
The money don't stop falling. I've never seen no shit like that. I mean,
That's
I've been to a lot of, and I ain't gonna wait. That,
Thought of another time.
but I see Meech and these niggas.
Oh,
Yeah.
No. Let me
Niggas all like,
All Star, I know,
What you did
but I've seen Meech and these niggas on numerous occasions
on regular nights.
do some shit that's out of fucking hand, like disrespectfully out of hand.
Throw the
like,
whole 1,000 brick like a football.
like start hitting bitches in the head, all
Yeah,
type of
knock
shit.
the
Like,
bitch upside
nah,
the head with
like,
it.
bro.
and the bitch was happy
No,
for
listen
that.
to me,
And
listen
she
to
would
me.
be happy.
Yeah,
Okay,
okay.
hit it with a brick.
Bro,
Right.
it's,
Put it in
they
your
got
bag.
they got so many
Bag.
singles. Grown men are stuffing bricks
Yeah.
of singles
Down their pants.
they taking the
Dropping
money.
they sweat
They
towel on the
taking the
floor.
money.
and picking it up.
They
But-
still-
but
they
I've seen
taking
this
the
happen
money.
numerous
That's
times.
crazy.
That's
Where
so
guys would have
embarrassing.
A sweat towel, and then they would drop it, and then they would pick it up like this, and it'd be full of money, and then they'll yeah, I've seen that happen.
And doesn't
It's that
isn't
much
security
money.
supposed to be like,
Nah,
Niggas
it's
stealing
too much
it.
going
It's too much
on.
going
Too much going on.
That's
yeah.
embarrassing.
That's
Listen,
embarrassing.
Back in
for
the
sure.
Imagine you
as
were in
a
a strip
grown
club
ass
with your dude
man.
and he pick up some money.
Man, it's over.
Hell no.
As a grown ass man.
That's
Listen, the
different,
money
but
used to be so crazy. When I
what
worked
I'm
at Magic
saying.
City on a Monday night, the money would be so crazy that we would come back to work Tuesday, day shift or whatever in the afternoon, and all the trash bags would be busted open in the dumpster and around the dumpster. So the money was falling into the trash can, and the fiends would come after the club closed and rip the trash bags open to get the money that came out the trash. Like literally at Magic City, they got a little gate thing where the dumpsters is now, and it's because they would come back Tuesday morning or Tuesday for day shift, and it would be trash all over the parking lot because the fiends then came and ripped all the bags open because the money would fall into the trash.
Is it like that anymore?
No.
Okay.
No.
Nah, I don't. I mean, it be. I ain't gonna say that.
There's
It's
this
nice,
times
it's nice that
where-
niggas go crazy. Like you,
Yeah.
you know when it's gonna go crazy.
Yeah,
but what we
Miami
talking about,
right now,
it's just
the
it's
No,
on
this
a
is an
regular.
era.
Right.
This is
I
an era.
remember
on a
everybody
This was
regular.
an era.
Yeah.
If you seen certain niggas fall in the strip
This
club,
was an
the
era.
bitches knew they was
Listen,
getting paid. Like, oh, nah,
you-
Jim is in there.
You,
It's like they
Wayne,
press the
Diddy,
ding.
Jeezy, Gucci, T.I., and Tiny. I'm telling you. And what's the niggas, a couple ball players, you know what I'm saying? But when it came to the rapper, Pac-Man, and what's the guy that used to play for, he used to play for the Redskins. He used to come in Magic with rugs and them all the time, and they used to go crazy on day shifts and all types of weird Tuesdays.
Well,
and
Gigi,
random things.
shout out because you are bartending. So let's just shout that out before we close this out.
Oh yeah, so I'm back in the strip club. I'm bartending at the
Okay.
club in Atlanta called Rain ATL. It's the old Foxy Lady. It's all renewed and remodeled, and it's been about a month now that
Y'all
I've been
need a
bartending
blizzard
there.
night there from
So
what
yeah,
I
I need a
you
good
gotta
blizzard
tell
night.
them. I mean, my record is kind of added to all the radio stations in Atlanta right now. You gotta tell them to book us up
You-
for old time's sake.
Yeah.
Make it happen, Gigi.
You do
Make
for
it
you
rain.
do for a vacation.
Bust
That's
a-
what you're trying to
bust a
say.
quick
On the love,
make it
you do
rain
for a
in and
little-
out.
Yeah.
I might can't do a weekend no more, but I could do
That sounds
24
good.
hours and get the
Yeah.
fuck back out
Don't
of
think we
there.
won't all come too.
Right.
Yeah.
You will make it an event. All right.
I'll bring Chrissy and all
Let's
that.
go. Let's
Yeah.
go.
Here
Let's
for
go.
it.
Tell
That's
Chrissy
fire.
that we could do a real
Ramo.
estate convention.
That's a good time
That's
to
the
say.
night that I'm
Now you
building
tell-
houses.
That's the one
Buy
night
some
that I'm gonna be
houses.
behind the bar and I'm
Put
not
a
letting
whole
my
envy
friends
scheme
go.
while we out there. We got 9 events lined up while we out there.
For old time's
That's
sake.
when
Well, Jimmy, thank you so much. We really appreciate
Thank you. Thank you.
So
Have a
the
good
album is called Hitmakers. Is that
The album right now is called Hitmakers. We're gonna see what
happens.
See where it goes from there.
Gangsta Grill drops on January 14th. We got the Lobby Boys. We gonna put
Spanish
the
album.
first singles out in February 4th. Spanish album, Broken Spanglish, that's coming towards the summertime.
Nice.
And I had a Bird Gang compilation album also. So I'm working. Capo Coin is out. Get you your cryptocurrency. Buy you some NFTs. I got a saucy. Smoke you some weed. I own a gym in Jersey, in Lowdown, New Jersey. It's called Vamp Fit. Iron Rain Fitness. It's a CrossFit gym, which you can also come in there and work out. A few other things, but
You're like, I don't even know everything.
It's a lot going on.
I can't think of all my businesses.
Yeah,
right
lot of good
now,
things.
but-
fucking me up. But I got a grocery store in Harlem. You can come buy some groceries.
But
and
go
shit
get
like
some
that. I got a
sandwiches.
bodega in Harlem, so we
Nice.
working.
Give it
I
back
love
to the community.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, lip
it.
service.